All right. Okay, it is 6:04. Going to kick off this meeting, September 11th, or excuse me, October 11th, Planning and Zoning Commission. Let's start off with a roll call, shall we, on that end?
Greg Demas.
Michael Hall.
Mike Rhodes.
Brian Nash.
Dave Bench.
City Attorney Lee Simmons.
Very good. And we'll go right into the consent agenda. There's only one item on that agenda, and that is, I thought public comments came later. Oh, excuse me. Do we have any public comments that need to be aired that are not part of the current agenda?
We did have someone sign up for public comments. Yes, we have digital steering agenda item or general?
agenda item.
All right.
It's on the agenda item? Okay, fine. Very good. So we'll take that as a no. All right. Now, may I move on to the consent agenda? Okay, move on to the consent agenda. We have one item on there, and it is the minutes from last meeting. Do we have a motion on that?
I'll move to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Okay.
Second.
All right. All in favor in approving the minutes from last meeting? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good. All right. Our next item is a public hearing on a special use permit application for 2712 Bee Cave Road, number 106, to authorize operation of a restaurant, including alcoholic beverage sales for on-premises consumption. The time is 6:07. I'm going to open up the floor for public comments.
Open the public hearing, please.
Open a public hearing. Thank you. I'm getting lots of coaching here.
You're crushing it. I think you're doing really well.
There you go.
Super.
You're too kind. No public?
We have,
Yes, okay. Okay, yeah, what you would need to do is go up to the podium and state your name and address and then your business.
Thank you. Casey Hoffman, 2800 Hatley Drive.
Okay.
And I'm just curious about where this exactly, I mean, it has the address, but is there somebody going to present from the company?
Yeah, we have a representative from the company, yes.
I'll wait till they get through with their presentation.
All right,
Thank you.
very good. Thank you, Casey. Anyone else for public comment, or? All right, it is, what do I see, 6:08. I'm going to close down the public hearing, and we'll go into the discussion and possible action regarding a recommendation on a special use permit application for 2712 Bee Cave Road, number 106, to authorize the operation of a restaurant, including alcoholic beverage sales for on-premises consumption. Nikki.
Yes, sir. All right, so I just wanted to let you know in your packet you've got a few things in front of you. I hope you looked at them. If not, they are available to you. So we did do a summary sheet, just kind of letting you know what was kind of going on, and that staff was going ahead and letting y'all know that it would be your job to make a recommendation or denial to council for them to approve or deny. So additionally, you have the application that was submitted to you, a letter from the owner regarding their business. There was an observation inspection that I went out and did as a part of our code to kind of go over what the space looks like, what is going on out there, and how it's meeting our code or not meeting our code. And then additionally, we have the portion of the code that y'all can refer to.
And you're finding it that everything seems
Yep,
okay?
everything is okay.
All
They
right.
are, it's just more so of, is the use harmonious with the area? Are they let's see, appearance and size, density of operating characteristics, they will or will not have an adverse effect, which they will not create a nuisance or otherwise interfere with the neighbor's enjoyment. Traffic proposed, it's a shopping retail center that's already operating, and the proposed use does comply with all of our applicable city ordinances and regulations. So.
So why does it come before us?
So it goes before you because it is a special use, which a special use is technically a zoning change. And zoning goes before our Planning and Zoning Commission to make a recommendation to council whether to approve or deny.
Is there, sorry to make you revisit.
It's okay.
This has always been confusing to me because we've got a C1 and a C2.
And a C2.
So is this like, and I forget where the dividing line on that is, but does that factor into
It
whether or
does.
not this comes
It does.
before us? Okay.
It does. So if they were to be, I believe they're in C2. If they were in C1, a restaurant is not an applicable use.
Okay. And
It's not even a special use.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's available over at C2. And again, the dividing line is the business district and
So a restaurant is what makes this special use,
correct,
not alcohol.
not alcohol.
Okay.
Not alcohol.
And it's
It
where
is a restaurant.
Loverboy was.
It is where
and then-
Loverboy was.
so
So
it's
to answer
already
your question,
a restaurant in that-
Mr. Hoffman, it is located over, if you're coming in on Bee Cave, right before you get to our intersection at Edge Grove. Back up a little further, there's where Chinatown is and all that. It is in that shopping center.
Yeah. And before that, it was another pizza joint.
Correct. And so for each use, as it's changing ownership, as it's changing names, it's changing types of operation, it is a restaurant. So it does come to you for.
Can I get some
Yeah.
clarification? I
Specific.
guess I'm a little confused about that.
Sure.
About I thought that really what was driving this discussion was the use of alcohol.
It is not.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Hey, you want to go ahead?
I'll be darned.
Desiree Adair, City Secretary. There are places in the code that discuss what you have to do if you are having an establishment that serves alcohol. But the TABC regulates all alcohol and whether or not someone can serve that or not. So me as City Secretary, I can just stamp when they have an application, whether it's in a wet or dry area, and then it goes on from there to county and to the state.
Okay.
But I don't believe that cities can regulate. We might have to refer to Lee,
Okay.
alcohol establishments in that way.
All right. I was reading the ordinances and I was looking at special use and I thought it was actually specifically mentioned alcohol in the ordinance, that it had to go before P&Z.
It does. There's a specific regulation. I can look at that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those requirements are, if they are going to serve alcoholic beverages, they have to be not located within 300 feet of a church or
Right.
school. All of those ones. The second one is not located on property, two or more sides of which abut property in a residential district. The gross receipts derived from the sale of alcoholic beverages shall not exceed the gross receipts derived from the sale of food. And the permit shall be reviewed annually by the city secretary, and if reissued at the end of the city's fiscal year.
Yes.
Those are the requirements that the city can put on someone wanting to serve alcohol, and they have to meet those standards.
Okay. But that's still not driving this discussion right here. Those are just, okay.
No, it's the special
Okay.
use that is.
Well, we don't get to do this very much, this particular kind of thing, so I wanted as much clarity as I could get.
Yeah.
Thank
Is
you.
ownership changing hands of the property? Are they acquiring the property, or is this for a lease?
It's a lease.
It's a lease.
Lease.
Ownership staying the same owner as when it was Loverboy?
All right. I understand there's a representative from the establishment here. Is there anything you'd like to say? Well,
No, just that I'm glad to be here with y'all to talk about this special use permit.
Uh-huh.
Again, we're not trying to be a nuisance.
Sure.
Everything's gonna go in a orderly fashion. main reason why we're here is because there wasn't one, I guess, already there for Loverboy, you know, and that's what we're trying to make sure all the I's are dotted and all the T's are closed.
We appreciate that. We like I's and T's. So, very, very good. Yeah, I went through all your paperwork and stuff. It looks great. Thank you.
As far as alcohol goes, regardless, we're on all of the restaurants,
Mhm.
we have the food and beverage certificate,
Yeah.
which pretty much regulates us to the 41-51 rule, and that would be the same thing here.
Very good.
What are your other restaurants?
We have Jalisco's, Los Pinos Jalisco's on Bee Caves,
Okay.
and there's another Pino Jalisco's on 2222, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
That's also part of the same one. This one we changed the name a little bit to Pepitas,
Uh-huh.
but all of them, the other two have the food and beverage certificate as well,
Okay.
and we've never been audited by TABC, so I think we're doing things right.
Okay. When do you plan to open?
As soon as you give me the okay.
Literally, you're waiting on us.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
You can buy margaritas.
We could.
Oh,
So
Right
tonight-
after
you're
this.
saying then
You got 4
tonight?
hours.
Well, we're doing this step first, and then hopefully next week we can get the okay.
All right. All right.
I was curious about, and this is not related to the application, but just, I remember that being a pretty small space when it was used as the pizza establishment. Is it like, what's the capacity, I guess? I was just curious about how many restaurant patrons you'll be able to
Yeah,
serve.
that actually got lowered a little bit too as well because there was only one restroom in there.
Mhm.
So we're actually putting a second restroom right beside each other, basically. So that's going to cut down also on the capacity that's inside. I want to talk about putting the other tables outside as well, you know. But again, I can't start talking about that until I have that special use permit,
I see.
so we can start.
So you haven't even been able to do the planning for the space until you have
Pretty
this
much,
okay.
exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions or?
You wanna
Okay.
take the podium?
Oh, please. All right.
Just for record, will you state your name and just for the record?
It's Carlos Yescas, and I'm with Pepita's restaurant.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Carlos.
Thank you. My wife and I came down here especially for this, and I was on a board of appeals a number of years ago, and we came down here to say keep up the good work, and we wanted another Mexican restaurant here, and we're on our way to what is it? Las Palomas for Mexican food, so we thought we'd make it a Mexican night.
That sounds great.
So come over and have a margarita with us.
All right. Okay. Very good. Hey, it could happen.
Very likely you run into some Rollingwood residents over there at Las Palomas.
All right.
Thank you for your
Thank
comments.
you. Yeah, thanks for your comments. Those are very kind. And enjoy your dinner and margaritas. Yeah. I'm a fan of Palomas myself.
We're right behind you.
So, any other questions, discussion? We could entertain a motion from someone.
I just have a quick question. Did Loverboy have a special use permit or not? Because that was technically not a restaurant, it was only takeout, or?
We could not find one on file, and we believe it was a restaurant a few times before that. And so often special use permits run with property. So if we could have found one that was for that space, that was for a restaurant, we may have been able to just, consider this a continuation of that use, but we were not able to find one. And so we just figured we'd cross all of our T's. And,
Yeah. So it was Loverboy technically operating out of, like,
I mean, I don't know.
Just
It
curious.
it had a continued use, and another reason is they don't always come before us unless they meet certain criteria where they have to come for us to get a stamp on an alcoholic beverage permit or something like that. And so somehow that one got missed and fell through the cracks. But we'd like to start doing things the right way. So
makes sense.
It's a new day.
it is a new day. I like that. Yeah.
So
Thank
what would the motion be, just to approve the permit?
Well,
Is that-
I can tell you that the words on this
And it would be
with
to
regard
recommend
are actually pretty
Authorize.
good.
To recommend.
Yeah.
To the council. Yep.
Yeah, so it would be a recommendation or to recommend for or against.
It sounded like you wanted to.
I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I recommend we move to recommend this for council to approve. I move to recommend for
Okay,
council
let's,
to approve. Is that better?
wait,
That was-
let's put some more,
that was
let's
very-
put some more words in that, Mike,
very-
okay?
It's been a while.
If you take a look at the number 4 here, it gets kind of specific about what it is we would be approving. And if you would use some of those words, I think we would be just hunky-dory.
Jeez. All right. I'll make a motion to recommend the approval of the special use permit application for 2712 Bee Cave Road number 106 to authorize operation of a restaurant including alcoholic beverage sales for on-premises consumption.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
All right.
There we go.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Motion carries. We'll be down tomorrow. Oh, it's gotta go to city council. Oh, that's right. Okay, all right. Yeah. No,
You can get them here, I'll get the margarita, trust me.
all right.
Well, we're all very excited and hope we get
Yes.
to welcome you to the neighborhood
Yes.
very soon.
Yeah.
So
Good luck to
Yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you.
We're pleased you're here. It's great. All right. Update on, we're gonna move on to the next thing, item number 5. Update on commercial code changes, task force progress, and next steps. Is somebody here to talk about that?
We can tag team this. Okay. I didn't know if you would rather give that report. I'll give it a start. So, we have, since I guess I'm trying to remember exactly when the commercial, document was approved, but we have been working with a small group, of members that were on the strike force, to bring kind of to life all of those recommendations that were in the comp plan. It is a little less straightforward than just, oh, here's what it says, we'll change the code. There's a lot of places that codes reference the other sections, and so we're taking a really big view and trying to approach everything and make sure everything matches up the way it needs to be. The way I see it, I feel like we're probably 3 or 4 meetings away from having that task group completed. We will then, if there's any leftover questions that really need any other discussion by the P&Z and City Council, we have scoped a few more meetings. So one more that could be a joint meeting between the P&Z and City Council, just for any other kind of hanging out items that we couldn't fully code without a little bit more input. Then after that, those changes would be finally made. It would then come to the P&Z for their recommendation to City Council on a zoning change, which y'all generally do those recommendations, and then City Council will hear it.
About how many items are we talking about? You know, is
There
it a
were-
Buick or a breadbasket? What is it?
There were about 15 to 17
That's a
total
bunch.
recommendations for the commercial code, but they all manifest in multiple different code changes. So some may just say, reduce setbacks, bring businesses closer to the road, that kind of thing. Well, that looks a little bit more than just like one sentence in the code, right? So
Yeah.
one recommendation might cause a lot of different amendments.
So are we expecting them all to come at the same time, or are we gonna get them piecemeal?
It will be one document, and I think we can probably break them down and look at them more like that one at a time. That might, or maybe not one at a time, but in smaller groups, maybe have smaller sessions to kind of digest the changes that were made. But in general, because they touch a lot of different sections, you kind of need to have the entire amendment completed.
It's gonna be a fun night.
I'm sorry?
It's gonna be a fun night when we get through that.
Oh, yeah, it's
There
gonna
you
be,
go.
yeah, we'll bring our sleeping bags.
Sure. And we'll do our best to summarize things about, here's the recommendation, here's all the places you can find where we tried to meet that recommendation in the code. So it won't just be here you go, look at these,
Well, my guess
50
is
pages.
you probably know what you wanna do, and it's just a matter of getting the words right?
Right.
That's where you are.
Right.
And it would be great, any upfront that we can know in advance, so we have a chance to kind of mull it over.
Sure.
Is that possible? Just that kind of
Absolutely.
know. I know, I mean, we're part of the approval process for the strategic plan, but,
Mhm.
just wanted to just whatever's in the back, you know, what's in the box before we get the box.
Sure, I think the intent would be to share those amendments with plenty of time to review ahead of the meeting. We can share as much information as we have, and then take questions before the meeting, make sure everyone is on the same page, and we'll be happy to have as many meetings
Now-
as we need to.
You know, we've already gone through and we approved the strategic, or rather the
comp plan.
comprehensive plan.
Mhm.
Okay, and that happened, I guess, about a year or so ago.
Right.
And everything that is gonna be talked about is in line with that approval, right? So in
Right.
essence, we've already kind of done a pre-approval of all this stuff, right?
Right.
So it's really only a matter of really the words, is that true? or-
Right. That's true.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions?
That sounds great. You mentioned you thought maybe 3 or 4 more of these meetings before we would be getting involved. Does that sound right?
Yes.
And what's the cadence on the meetings right now?
We generally meet about every other week, so I'd say maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, we could expect to
Oh.
have some kind of draft, or an additional clarification meeting with P and Z and City Council before that final draft is made.
Maybe something for Christmas?
Can we
You
say
talked
the
about
New
the
Year's?
box,
Maybe,
wanting to know. You're getting really excited about the holiday
Happy
season.
New Year.
I can tell.
think we'll go with that. Maybe President's Day. I don't know. Whatever. Sometime around then.
We're having so much fun tonight. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks.
Is the work that we're doing on kind of like the river trail thing, you know, like right behind the commercial area on Bee Caves, is that like related at all? Just trying to get that better in anticipation of potentially some code changes, or?
There are the work that we're doing like over on Edge Grove.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily at this time. So currently, what we're doing is actually rehabbing from the winter storm. That's where we staged all of the limbs from the whole city when we collected them during the storm. So a lot of damage happened over there. We're actually working with FEMA right now for reimbursement for that kind of stuff, those kind of expenses. But I think that's a long-term goal on that side over there. There's a lot of discussion, in the group and throughout the plan about trying to make that a little bit more inviting space, possibly having people or, the businesses along there, if they're willing to donate any kind of like right of way for a trail, things like that, just that we could kind of pose in those amendments. But at this time, no, we're really just trying to beautify it because it took a hit during the winter storm.
Awesome. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not part of what we're gonna be,
No,
something later on.
maybe in the future. Yeah.
Someday.
Love the
Yeah.
idea though.
Yep.
Sure.
Great idea.
Agreed.
Yep.
Is that it?
That's all I got.
Thank you for the report.
Thank you, that's great. Yeah, it's good to know. All right, update on CRCRC item number 6, excuse me. Update on CRCRC progress, survey, and next steps. I think I'm gonna be speaking to that. Since we last met, we've had 2 productive meetings, quorums at both of them, and we have been working to fine-tune the survey that is coming out. If you've been paying attention to our website, we recently posted, our staff was kind enough to post that we will be releasing the survey on October 21st, and it will be available until November 5th. So we are working with a company called Bowie, who had worked with the other group here earlier, and as of today, they are now porting our Word documents into something that's web intelligible. It's happening right now. So we think we're on track. I think we're going to make the dates. We're going to preface that with a delivery of postcards to every residence in Rowanwood. We've actually enlisted the support of the Rowanwood Women's Club Walking Group to help us get cards to every residence here in the place. Greg was actually offering that maybe P&Z would like to participate in some of that as well. When
I don't want to sign these guys up. I'm happy to help.
I'm happy,
Anything
I'm
I
happy to
can
walk the east side.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sign me up, Dave. Happy to do whatever I can do.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. So,
Likewise, I don't want to be left behind here. I officially volunteered to walk and deliver postcards.
well,
You
you
can
know,
walk the whole north side.
2 meetings ago, Greg pointed out that the creation of this CRCRC came through P&Z,
I got
and
it.
it's kind of their baby, this baby of this group. So you know, why not? Why not participate? So, and frankly, you know, the more involved you guys are with what it is we're doing, I think the easier time we're going to have whenever it comes time when the rubber meets the road, and there's going to be a bit of rubber.
So how will you I mean, that survey is going out in, what date did you say?
On the 21st.
Do
Yeah,
back.
so
Yeah.
10 days, right? So
Yeah.
if we're signing ourselves up to help here, within 10 days we're doing something.
Yeah. Alex and Shanti are actually working through this on what the process is going to be for getting this stuff out there. I will let them know that you guys are interested to participate,
Great.
and then they can get with you. Okay, so they've kind of got the lead on that. There's really not a whole lot more to say about it, other than, you know, this is our first step. The first promised thing was to go out and survey the public to find out what the appetite was for change, if any, and hopefully this survey will do it for us. If you want, you can look at last evening's CRCRC packet, and you'll find an almost completed survey. We made some touches on it just this morning.
Oh.
Now it's finished. But yeah, you can see what the survey looks like now if it's been posted.
Oh, so that's the agenda packet from last
It's in the
night.
agenda package
Cool.
from last evening.
That's great.
So, look forward to getting this thing out. We're pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were saying this before the meeting officially started, but thank you for all the.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, that's a huge
Yeah.
undertaking. I have no doubt. So
I
thank you so much for putting the time in it, and
Thank-
please
thank you.
make sure the CRCRC knows all.
After you say it about 400 times, it just rolls off the tongue.
No, but I think this is critical because, you know, I think we were really wanting to get community feedback and feel like we had a full sense of what everybody's thinking as we look at these changes. And I think that's, you know, the process is coming along really well.
Thank you. I think if you have a look at it, you're going to see that you need to put your thinking cap on. And it's as much of an educational experience, I think, as it is a question and answer. In that, you know, we're able to describe, I think, to the public, maybe for the first time for most of them, exactly what a setback is. So that whenever you're talking about, are they the right things, you know what you're saying, you know. For that matter, how do we measure building height? In what other ways could there be?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a bit of geometry in there that you got to study before you can answer the questions. But I think you'll find the questions to be delightful. We figure it'll take anywhere between 15 and 45 minutes to complete the survey. There's about 30 questions in it. And it depends on the level of answer you want to provide. We've given opportunity for comments in pretty much every question. So,
And then I would expect that with the money we're saving on postage by doing the hand delivery, we could probably buy residents margaritas at Pepitas.
I like your
Yeah.
thinking.
Just thinking
so-
cheap margaritas.
That's it.
After the walk.
That's right.
After the
walk, that's right.
There's no 40-cent margaritas.
That's what we need. We need more margaritas, you know.
We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, that's
So anybody,
great.
that's it. That's all I got to say about it. Anybody have any questions?
No, thanks for
It's the
doing
first
it.
step.
Sounds like y'all put
You're-
a ton
you'll
of
be
thought
hearing a
into
lot
this
more.
survey, so.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great report.
Okay, and item number 7, you all should know that Amy Rodnick has turned her resignation in to City Council. We expect that they will accept her resignation next week. I want to say, you know, what a delight it has been for me to work with her, and she couldn't be here this evening, but I want to express my appreciation for all the hard work and the amount of time that she's put in to this group and other aspects of, you know, city government here. She's really been a fixture, you know, here in Rollingwood, and I personally, I know I'm gonna miss her. I wish she was staying on, but. So, we have, a spot to fill. And if you know anyone who is, there are some candidates out there that have applied, but this is an opportunity for you to introduce, friends to government, friends to P and Z to, this process. And, if you know somebody who might be interested, why not, coax them into it? We're going to, Desiree tells me that, no later than Monday? Friday, okay. If we don't get a lot, I may actually ask city council to postpone a month on an appointment. If you guys don't have any trouble with that, I don't know. It depends. We haven't heard
Just
back
so we can
yet
give more candidates?
for other candidates, right? Or we haven't heard back from all the candidates that are listed right now to see whether they still want to be candidates. They've been they've been on the roll for a while, so.
I'll make a quick announcement that
Please
we
do.
did already mail out notices for that November 1 meeting, so we need a quorum for that. I know a couple people already can't be here, so possibly being short a member would also make that a little more difficult. So just something to keep in mind as we
Right,
move
okay.
forward.
So, yeah, we need a quorum for our November 1st meeting. A quorum here is 4.
Yes,
I plan to be here.
we have 4 exactly right now.
All right.
So just to be sure that in case anything happens, then we produce
Okay.
someone on the way.
All right.
And that appointment of that new P and Z member is the reason behind the urgency and needing a quorum for that meeting?
No, not for the appointment. No, it's
Okay.
for a separate public hearing that we've already
Okay.
had to mail notice for.
Got it.
So.
Okay.
What? Yeah. Okay.
And
I
this
don't-
is-
We're not supposed to talk about that, but as soon as the meeting's over, I can tell you what it's about.
We can, we can email out the information. We'll be posting it to the website soon, especially now that the notice has gone out. We like to get that stuff earlier than the 72 hours. So we'll send you all an email once that's all posted. It should be later this week.
Maybe
Okay.
we can appoint a woman so we can balance out
I
this
would love
boys
it.
club.
I really
I was
would
thinking,
like that.
like,
yeah.
as
Yeah.
I looked around at us,
I'm with you,
it would be very nice to have additional diversity.
I'm
in our,
calling every
Yes.
female I know.
If we can get some diversity on the
Um,
board.
well, I think given that we are on agenda item 7 rather than what's in November, we all share the sentiment that you expressed. Amy was amazing. She's got a great perspective, and she did so much hard work on this commission. She's definitely going to be sorely missed. So, but she was amazing. We were lucky to have her service these last few years. So,
And to step in as our permanent temporary chair
yeah, she
for a while.
she was so gracious with that.
She was
She
very,
was.
very gracious.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, she's great. So.
Yep, thanks, Amy.
All right. And with that, that's our last item. Okay, have a motion to adjourn?
Well, I'll move to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
All right. All right. Favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Okay. It is, what, 6:37? And let's adjourn this meeting.